Love is the recognition of oneness in the world of duality. Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode. It's the continuation of the previous one, though, but it is titled as Henosis, and I'm your host, Nafisa, from the podcast Basics to Bloom. So let's begin. It is said that as we are more into oneness, so Henosis, the title itself says oneness, which is a Greek word. Now, monotheism, belief in the existence of one God or in the oneness of God, which is distinguished from polytheism, which is the belief in the existence of many gods, from atheism, that is the belief that there is no God, and from agnosticism, which is again the belief that the existence or non-existence of God or of gods is unknown or say unknowable. Henosis is the ancient Greek word which is for oneness, union, or unity, and it is from classical Greek, right? Now, according to the Greek mythology, divine work is done, that is, it is to get the closest to the monad. Now, monad is nothing but it is the source, which is one. Each individual, they must, what it says, what this Greek mythology divine work, it says that each of the individual, they must engage in certain type of divine work. This divine work, it can be defined as each individual who are dedicating their life to making or say in creating a world and mankind's relationship to it and to another person into a better life. That is what we all are dedicated, right? In one word, if I say, it is more like serving the mankind. And that is what it has been defined in such a great statement by Greek mythology, which says about divine work. We have to serve whatever we are here to serve, actually, right? So, yeah. So this is done by living a virtuous life and seeking one's magnum opus, which is a word, again a Latin word. Now, while preparing this content, I came across a very, very beautiful story, not exactly story, but it is again a Greek mythology, which is based on Plato's book, which is called as Symposium, and it's lovely. I loved that mythological story, and I thought that I should share with you all. So, according to Plato's Synopsism, which is his book, he says that, a part of that book, it contains a myth about the origin of human love, and that is beautiful, guys. Keep listening to this part. Now, the myth says that the myth of Orizo, pardon me with the Greek words, they are really tongue twister. So the myth of Aristophanes, the myth of Aristophanes, it's titled as the myth of Aristophanes. Once upon a time, there were three kinds of people: a male who are descendant from the sun, female descendant from the earth, and hermaphrodite with both male and female parts who were descended from the moon. Now, these early people, they were completely round. I'm talking about the hermaphrodites, okay? They were completely round, and they each of the hermaphrodite, they were with 4 arms, 4 legs, and 2 identical faces which were opposite to one another from their head side, and they have got 4 ears, and all were identical. They were all, the features were completely matching each other. 2 eyes, 4 eyes, 4 ears, 2 nose. So they were they were completely identical beings, right? But they were connected. Now, they walked both forwards as well as backwards because they were round, right? And they were descendant from the moon. So they were round and they were able to walk forwards as well as backward, and they ran by turning the cartwheels on their 8 limbs. They were moving in circles just like their parents. And who were their parents? Their parents were the planets. So they were very wild and unruly, and because of that, they threatened to scale the heavens. Now, so what happened? The father of the gods, as per ancient Greek mythology, his name is Zeus, the father of gods. He cut each of the hermaphrodite into two, just like a sorbed apple which we halved for pickling. In that same manner, Zeus, he cut those hermaphrodite into two halves. Now, after that, people, those divided hermaphrodites, they searched all over for their other half. When they finally found found the other half, they wrapped around themselves very tightly and they did not let go. Whereas the men who desire men used to be male from the sun, and the female who desire the women who desire women who are from the moon, they are called as female. Now hence when we find our other halves, the hermaphrodites, I'm talking about the hermaphrodites, so when they find their other half, they are completely lost in an amazement of love and deep friendship and intimacy, and that cannot be accounted for by mere lust. It's not lust is a very lower frequency, lower frequency, I can say, as compared to love and friendship, right? Love is of course the topmost thing. So but by the need to be whole again, that is their need, they are incomplete, right? So the need is they have to come together to be a complete, right? So but because of that need, they have to get completed and to be restored to their original nature, otherwise they are incomplete, guys. So I find it really interesting. And apart from that book again, Plato's Symposium, it also says in the latter part that we all know Socrates, right? He relates his conversation with a priestess named as Diotima of Mantinia. Now, according to Diotima, human youth, should first be taught to love one beautiful body, so that he comes to realize that this beautiful body, it shares beauty with other beautiful bodies, and soon realizes as well as appreciates that the beauty of the soul is far, far superior to that of the body, and then experiences beauty itself. How true, isn't it? I really love this beautiful concept about love and human love, and what type of thinkers they were. My god, I'm talking about somewhere BEC 400 35 36, like that time period I'm talking about. And just imagine, they were having so deep, profound thought process, and they were so connected to their higher conscious thing, and they documented their work, and today we are able to read and understand what was that time their thought process. And some or the other way we still follow that there is some truth over there, guys. I cannot deny what I have shared. It's actually, though it is called as mythology or myths, now it's up to you how far you experience those things, how far you believe that. So it's up to you, but some or the other way, my personal belief is these things do exist, guys. I'm a bit mystical, so I believe in these things. Now, another great Greek philosopher, pardon me with his spelling, his name, my god, it's very tough. Empedocles, I hope I pronounce it right, Empedocles, which is dated around 435 BEC. He held that there are four primordial elements: air, water, fire, and earth. So is the concept in Hindu mythology. Hinduism also believes in that, and even scientifically we have these elements, right? So it's that old actually. So he held that these four primordial primordial elements are there, and that these elements, they are driven together. Just understand the concept that they are driven together and they are apart by the opposed cosmic principles of love and strife. Now this fellow, he has written a beautiful article which is named itself as Love and Strife. If you want further information, you can go and search that, Love and Strife. So what he says is, love, it brings the elements together, and unopposed love, it leads to one, a divine and resplendent sphere. But strife, it gradually decreases this sphere, returning it to the elements, back to those elements. It divides. Strife, it divides the things, and this cosmic cycle, it repeats itself again and again, which again in Greek word it is called as ad infinitum. How beautiful, isn't it? So I'll say what he has given in his own word. This philosopher, he has said that, his own words, I'll read that for you all. I shall tell thee a twofold tale. At one time it grew to be one only out of many. At another it divided up to be many instead of one. There is a double becoming of perishable things and a double passing away. The coming together of all things brings one generation into being and destroys it. The other grows up and is scattered as things become divided. And these things never cease, continually changing places at one time, all uniting in one through love, at another, each born in different direction by the repulsion of strife. How beautiful concept, isn't it? So everything is about love and ego, which he calls as strife. Only these two things exist, guys, right? So I'll end by, what St. Augustine has to say about all divinity and oneness. He has said that desire and yearning, these are the sign of created creature, whereas God himself is without desire and lives according to himself and through himself. The fundamental difference between God's made creature and their creator is in the metaphysical difference between eternity and time. This is purely beautiful concept. The creatures means us, we people. The creatures belong to the world of transitions. That is, the past is gone, the future is yet to be. So we are always like a pendulum, we are in a to and fro motion from past to future, right? Whereas what he says, St. Augustine says that what truly exists is only now, which is not in time but in eternity. How beautiful. And this eternity, guys, is nothing which he calls, it is only God. So amazing. This entire now thing, which is eternity and which is God, has changed my entire world. Earlier I was this deeper one statement, few lines which I read while preparing this content, I find it so profound that it has now helped me to overcome certain type of multitasking work which I was doing, and that was actually not correct. I was into certain work, and then I was into certain rituals at one time, and I was not completely focusing in that neither of the work. So either of the work and none of the work was getting accomplished. My 100% attention was not there. But now I understood that actually people, they always say that be in the present, focus on now. But what is this now all about? So beautifully it is now answered that now is the eternity actually, and now is the God, not the time frame of past and future. That is very much a human thing, very much a 3D dimensional or three-dimensional earthly thing. But now is the present moment, is actually godliness, which is divine again. eternity, right? So this was a short thing which I found really interesting. In a very very small nutshell, I thought of sharing with you all about Greek mythology, what is their concept about divinity, about human love, and certain interesting things. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be seeing you in my next episode, which is again an amazing concept from Hinduism on divinity, and that is really very close to my heart and I completely resonate. I hope you will like this episode as well as the previous one and the upcoming ones. So till then, till we meet, take care, stay blessed, stay happy, and always keep smiling. Hey friends, I want to introduce you all to a fellow podcaster friend of mine, Mr. Soman Sengupta, and his podcast channel Chase Your Dream. Amazing episodes where he has guests from all parts of the world who share their story about chasing their dreams, their struggles, their happiness, and of course their success. It's amazing, and Soman, he believes that where there is a will, there's a way. I strongly recommend give it a try. Do listen if you believe in your dreams, and do subscribe his channel. It's available on all major platforms like Anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast, and many more.